What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Kevin with Optimize Essentials, and today I'm going to share with you how to fix your hunchback posture, your kyphosis, your slouched upper back in 3 simple steps, all right? The first step is going to be what you can do to mobilize your thoracic spine, because kyphosis or slouched posture, hunchback, is when your thoracic spine excessively curves forward, all right? Your thoracic spine is the middle portion of your spine. You have your lumbar spine, your thoracic spine, and then your cervical spine. That portion of your spine, when it rounds excessively, turns into a hyperkyphotic posture. And when you have this, you're going to be prone to a lot of back pain, upper back pain, neck pain, and it's just going to be very uncomfortable because everything is pulling down, compressing on your diaphragm, and everything in your back is being overstretched and pulled excessively. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you what you can do to permanently fix this situation, all right? It's not just about taking a band. I think it was Athlete X's video, taking a band and wrapping it around your chest and pulling your shoulder blades upright. It doesn't work like that. You have to address the muscles that are being stuck excessively tight in that position before you can really have long-term posture that is naturally nice and upright, right? I don't have to force myself to be in this position. I just stand and I'm in this position. So the 3 things you need to do is, first, number 1, mobilize your thoracic spine. Number 2, stretch out all of the muscles that are associated with that dysfunction or that postural imbalance. And then number 3, what muscles, some exercises you can do to strengthen your body in that upright, thoracically extended position. Not too much so where you're walking up like this, but it's going to be just enough so that your body is in a nice neutral stance. You guys ready? Okay, the first step in fixing your posture is to mobilize your thoracic spine. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know how to use a foam roller properly, let alone how to properly foam roll their back. So I'm going to explain in a fair bit of detail on what you need to do. The first thing, getting onto the foam roller, a lot of people just jump right on it. They don't know how to set it up. With all the exercises, all the stretches, everything is about the setup so that you're in the best position prior to mobilization or stretching or strengthening, because the setup is very important to help set up the proper mechanics. All right, so the first step is to get on a foam roller by placing it directly below your thoracic spine, so near lumbar spine, but directly below your thoracic spine. And you do this by getting onto your elbows first, and then kind of dropping it right below the last vertebra of your thoracic spine, which I'll post a picture of. And then from there, what I do is I lean back onto it. So now I'm leaning my weight back onto it, and then I'm going to lift my hips up off the ground. As soon as I lift my hip up off the ground, I'm crunching my abs, because you're putting your back in a vulnerable position when you're lifting your hips up. So you want to gently crunch your abs together. And then from this point on, you're going to slowly cradle your neck and then rock up and down about a few inches on that lower portion of your thoracic spine. You just want to go down and up, kind of cradling it back and forth, I typically spend about maybe three minutes or so on the foam roller, but what I'm doing here is I'm going to the sides. I'm trying to hit my quadratus lumborum, the QL. Typically for me, the lower thoracic spine, when I do a lot of back exercises, gets really sore, so I spend the first chunk of my time kind of just rolling around the bottom portion of my thoracic spine, cradling, rocking it back and forth. It's also really important to make sure you're supporting your neck with your hands, because you do not want to let your head just drop back. You want to cradle your neck and really kind of tuck your chin and pull your head back, and straightening out your cervical spine as well. So you see me kind of rotating to the side, trying to get the side of my erectors, the QL. And then from here, I'm moving up a little bit higher. I don't know if you've kind of seen the progression, but I started down in here, and then I moved up higher. Oop, a little bit too far. So now I moved upwards to my middle thoracic spine and then my upper thoracic spine. So once you get your lower thoracic spine, you want to slowly move up to the middle segment, inch down and back a little bit, and then go up towards your upper thoracic spine and get that portion rolled out as well. And then from there, I just cradle the whole way down and then all the way back up. And then once you feel comfortable, you can extend your arms and do the same exact thing. And what I'm doing here is, as I'm cradling forward, I'm pulling my head forward, rounding a little bit more, opening up the vertebrae in my spine, and then rocking back and forth as you see here. And then once I feel like I've mobilized the erectors, the thoracic spine enough, I just lay directly below the nipple line, my chest, and I just open up so I can really open up the rib cage, because if you have kyphosis, if you have rounded shoulders, if you have hunchback, chances are the rib cage is closed down, and then your chest, your upper abdominals get really tight. So you want to just open up, lay here, and breathe into your abdominals, all right? So when you breathe, there's a segment where I push my belly up when I breathe in. You will really want to breathe into your belly and push your belly up, right? Bring air into your belly and just breathe. And then from that point on, what I do is I just open up and chill here for about a minute. And then if I want to progress it, I grab this bar and I do the same exact thing by rolling back and forth. Yep, sorry for the gray picture, guys. Choppy video, but I sped it up just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm grabbing the bar and I'm just rolling back and forth, back and forth. And once I feel like all that's good, I jump right into the next stretch. Okay, step 2. These are all the muscles that we need to stretch. I'm going to show you 2 of the most important ones that play a role in kyphosis, rounded shoulders, hunchback, and those are your lats and your chest, okay? There are other muscles like your hips, your quads, or your hamstrings, depending on whether or not you have an anterior pelvic tilt or a posterior pelvic tilt. But to prevent this video from going too long, I am not going to discuss what to do for those, but make sure you watch those videos in case you do have a posterior or anterior pelvic tilt, because that will cause kyphosis or a rounded shoulder, slouched posture, because the hips and the legs are connected to your thoracic spine. And then also there's also muscles in your neck that you might need to stretch out if you have forward head posture, which is most likely if you do have rounded shoulders or hunchback, because they'll cause your head to jut forward. You want to make sure you address those as well. But yes, to prevent this video from going too long, just make sure you check out my YouTube channel for more details. So the very first thing we're going to do is to stretch out your chest. What I like to do is I go to a cable machine and I place my forearms directly on the bar. It's parallel to the steel bar. And then from here, I press my weight in, so towards the camera, and I turn my torso away from the bar. So perpendicular to the bar as my forearm presses in towards the weight. And then what I'm doing here is I'm playing around with the angles. So by going higher, lower, or somewhere in between, you can hit different fibers of your chest. You can hit more of your pec minor or more of your pec major, depending on how high or how low you go. So what I do is I just find the area that, calls out to me the most. I lean into it and I turn my body away. So from this angle, you can see it a lot better, but I'm showing you the same exact stretch on the other side, pressing my forearms and my hands directly across and pressing my weight in towards the weight and turning my body away to get a deep stretch in my chest. And then after you finish stretching your chest, you want to make sure you attack your lats. And to attack your lats, all you have to do is grab on to the bar by crossing your leg, the back leg of the side that you're trying to stretch, all right? So if you're trying to stretch the left side, you're going to cross your left leg behind the right leg, and you're going to arch yourself here. If any of you guys watch Dragon Ball Z, this is like the fusion pose that Goku does. And then I also intensified a little bit more by doing a figure 4 stretch and crossing it over my other leg, keeping my abs tight and rotating my pelvis around. If you can see, I do these gentle rotations where I'm just playing around with the angle of my body so that I can really rip open my lats and my QL, okay? And then from this position, I do a one-handed lat stretch pay attention to my hand. I'm using an internally rotated grip. That means my hand is turning inwards and I'm grabbing the bar with my hands, my palms facing away. That's internal rotation, all right? The reason why I'm doing this is because I can get a much deeper stretch when I'm turning my arms in, because the lats is an internal rotator of the humerus, which basically means, your humerus, which is the arm bone, right? It turns inward. So when I'm putting it to that position and I'm pulling onto it, I'm stretching it even more. So I'm getting myself in that position, and now I play around with the angles a lot. I cross my leg back, and almost like I'm trying to stretch out my hip flexor, I'm squeezing my butt, tucking my abs in, and ripping open my lats. All right, so play around with the angles. Try these moves out. See if they can really call out to you. Find a position that really helps you feel a stretch. So I don't know if you saw what I did there, but as I'm pulling, watch how I play around with the angles, right? I'm reaching back, I'm twisting and turning my body because I'm finding that position where I'm getting the deepest, most intense stretch on my lats. And once I find it, I just pull into it, breathe into it. Since I've done this a long time, the stretch kind of fades pretty quickly for me. Like I get an intense, deep stretch. I hold it for 15, 20 seconds and it's gone. For some people, if you're new to this, you might need to hold it for maybe 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or maybe even longer. And then what I do is I switch to the next side and I do the same exact thing. I cross my leg. I keep my abs crunched nice and tight because the abs is an antagonist to the erectors, to the QL. So what I'm doing here is I'm crunching my abs in, posteriorly tilting my pelvis, and really opening up the space between my lats, my QL, my erectors, and my pelvis. And that's how you really stretch open the lats. Cool. And then you'll also stretch out some of your obliques and whatnot. But yeah, this is gonna hit your obliques. This is gonna hit your QL. This is gonna hit your erectors all in one. So you can kind of see my face, the sour face, because I found a really good spot and I'm twisting my body out more and I'm opening it up even more. Putting your body in this position will just open up all the fibers that are being compressed and shortened and tightened when you're sitting excessively. And that is all of the stretching we need to do. Now let's head to step 3, how to strengthen your body in this new upright position, because you want to maintain all of the changes that you've made through stretching out your lats, opening up your rib cage, stretching out your chest. You want to strengthen your body in this position as soon as possible so that you can teach your body how to maintain this new upright position. And the best way that I have found in doing this is the face pull. It is my favorite exercise for strengthening your body and keeping yourself nice and upright because of 2 components: upward rotation of the scapula and external rotation. Pretty much any exercise that brings your body in thoracic extension with a combination of upward rotation of the scapula or external rotation is going to achieve this result. But the face pull is my favorite because it does both of these, right? There's other exercises like the Y raise, but I'm just going to show you how to do the face pull and how to do it correctly, all right? So the very first thing you do is you set yourself up on a cable machine with a tricep rope. You want to make sure you're keeping your palms facing down or kind of gripping it with a prone grip. And then when you pull, you're going to inhale, pop your chest up, draw your belly button in, and pull to the corner of your head, all right? We want to focus on maximum external rotation, and then you're going to exhale when you go forward. Inhale, pull, and pop your chest up. Exhale as you're going back. So a few things to keep in mind. You want to make sure you're controlling the weight and you're going very slow so you can get a very good contraction at the end of the movement. You want to make sure you're using light enough weight so that you can perform this with good form, and then make sure you're really popping your chest up, going into thoracic extension, extending your body so that you can maintain and strengthen this upright position. You want to do this in the most perfect form possible because, once again, you want to build the right motor patterns. Guys, this is everything I wanted to share with you on how to permanently fix your kyphosis, your hunchback, your rounded posture. If you're looking for something that goes a little bit more in detail on how to assess your own body or how to fix your posture more thoroughly, you want to make sure you check out my Posture 101 ebook that I have on my website. It's very affordable. It'll teach you the absolute fundamentals, the basics on improving your posture, and it'll show you how to come up with a stretching protocol yourself so that you can fix any postural deviations that you have. And if you're looking for a program that'll teach you the absolute basics, that will take you from a beginner to intermediate trainer, you want to check out my 16-week transformation program. It's basically all of my knowledge as a personal trainer, teaching the people how to work out properly. So you want to make sure you check that out. If you have trouble learning how to structure a program, this will teach you the absolute fundamentals. Guys, once again, it is Kevin with Optimize Essentials. Make sure you stay subscribed, like, comment, and share if you like this video, if you gain value out of it. Let me know if you have any questions for future videos, and I look forward to hearing back from you guys. All right, have a good one. Peace.